Welcome to Money and Freedom, the podcast where you learn to become financially free using value investing. Today, I'm going to take you through 50 life lessons that I wish I had known earlier. Now, why do we do that? Why am I going to take you through this? For two reasons. First of all, investing is about living a great life. If you invest to become financially free or create generational wealth, it's really about creating a specific life with that. So we have to talk about life as well. The second reason is more personal. Something happened this week that I really want to look into. I went to the hairdresser and she said, "What's this?" And she showed me a bald spot the size of a coin. I got an appointment with the doctor, with a dermatologist. And he did what they do. He touched it and measured my pulse and whatnot. And when he was ready for the conclusion, he asked, "Has anything happened recently?" And I asked, "What? Why?" I thought he was going to tell me it was some kind of fungus or whatever. And he said, "You are losing your hair because of stress." I mean, here we are, right? I'm telling you, I'm financially free. I created this great life, and I really have created a great life. And my doctor's telling me that I have stress. I'm like, what? Like, it can't be. And what has happened? So nothing that I can say, well, it's nothing like that somebody died or anything, nothing like that. But a lot of things have happened the last year. For example, we moved. I started a podcast. Hey, here we are. That's a big thing. But he did say, you have to think a little back. It's not going to come very suddenly. You have to think some months back. So it's definitely not the podcast. And the podcast is a project that I think is fun. It's like something I wanted to do for years that, I'm enjoying this. It's not the podcast, in other words. One thing that has happened that I think it might be, there was an attack on Israel, 7th of October, and I expressed online my horror of what was unfolding. That created what my son calls it, Mom, that is cyberbullying. It created a lot of things. It created, somebody posted in a group with 100,000 people, they encouraged other people to go after me, basically, to make false reviews on Trustpilot. These reviews came in several a minute, like they just ticked in, tick, and you're standing there with your kids and trying to figure out what's going on. Reviews with 1 star that said Nazi and child killer and whatnot. Trustpilot closed down the review site. They froze it, basically. I still have some of those false reviews on it. Then the journalist got hold of the story and interviewed me for one of the newspapers in Denmark. And this has been going on. It's not gone. These kind of things, they don't disappear all of a sudden. It peaks and then it just continues. So it's still there. Yesterday, I noticed a comment about the podcast where it says that my accent is horrible. It said it was very Danglish, and that's a Danish expression for a mixture of Danish and English. And first I got really upset about it. Then I clicked on the profile and I noticed, she has commented before. And she was one of those. So this is it's something that it's ongoing. It's there. And it's been there for 1.5 years now. So if I had to say what has happened, I think it might be that, actually. Now, being in a situation where the doctor says I'm losing my hair because of stress. I mean, think about that. Isn't that crazy that this kind of online bullying can cause a reaction that's similar to people who go through chemotherapy? That is crazy. And honestly, I think I'm pretty cool about it. But it does when it's so much and it's for so long, it probably affects you. So what I want to do is I want to go through this list of 50 things that I created earlier when I turned 50. I said, here's my birthday gift to you. 50 things that I wish I had done before. I'm going to go through it because maybe there's something to learn here. First point, so buckle up, right? We're going through 50 of them, but I'll go through them quite quickly. First point is trust your intuition. Your intuition will tell you what to do. And personally, I have not done that earlier in my life. Does this mean, did my intuition tell me anything that is related to what is happening now in my life? I don't think I have not followed my intuition. My intuition would still tell me to do what I've done and post the things that I've done. Maybe right now you're asking, what did you actually post? Well, mostly it's about expressing condemnation of what happened on 7th of October and other things related to that. My second point is, of course, about investing. Invest early. I started at the end of my 20s, and that's pretty early for a lot of people, but I could have started earlier, and so could you probably. If you haven't started yet, it's really get into it. And not just investing. Don't just do the passive investing thing. Do the real thing, what I stand for. Looking through the companies, taking them through a checklist, calculating what they're worth, looking into what you're really investing in. That's the important thing. Third is be grateful. And gratitude is the magic spice in life. You can only have one thought at a time. So when you place a positive thought in your mind, you're going to erase the negative one. Not erase it, but you're going to push it out. I write here that you should, and that I do that. I'm saying every night I write 3 things that I'm grateful for, and you should too. Well, honestly, I forgot about it. So here's one point I have to get back to. Be selective when choosing friends. That's point number 4. I wasn't always like that. I was maybe suffering a little bit of FOMO, fear of missing out. So I just made friends because, hey, we can do stuff together. It's going to be fun. I'm much more selective today, and I still am. Number 5 is the opposite. And it's, remember that you can opt out of friendships in plural. This is about something that's related to investing, because there's something called sunk cost fallacy. And it means once you've invested in something, you don't want to let go because you don't want to admit that you made a mistake or wasted time, money, or anything. So when you invest in something and you realize, oh, this is not a good investment, and you don't want to sell just because you keep hoping it's going to go up because you already invested, it's exactly the same thing with friendships, with a job you maybe had for a long time. The thinking might go something like that. Oh, we've been friends since high school. I mean, I can't let it go now. Well, yes, you can. Or, I've had this job for 3 years. I should stay. I should at least be here for 5. Otherwise I made a wrong decision. Well, sometimes in life we make a wrong decision and we have to get out of it. When we stay in an investment, a friendship, a job, we're compounding negatively. If we're staying in the wrong kind, of course. So don't compound negatively. Get out of it. Point number 6, hold on to good friends. And this is a point from investing too. It's called let the winners run. What works, keep it. Let it compound, in other words. Number 7 is be selective with jobs. It's a bit the same as be selective with friends. I didn't always do that. Today I'm an entrepreneur, so that's a lot different. Number 8 is consider starting a business, talking about being an entrepreneur. I was very set on being a journalist. It was my dream from when I was very young. So for many years, there was nothing that could get me out of that thought. I'm a journalist. This is what I am. It was like an identity for me. And for a lot of us, probably we have identity hooked up to our career or job. By the way, I don't like the word career because it keeps you hooked on having a salary. It makes it like a holy thing, and it's not. It's not. Don't use the word career. Use the word job. And a lot of us, we probably have this identity hooked up to superficial things like what we do for a living. And I would say, really consider starting a business. A little backstory. I went on a trip as a journalist. Somebody asked me if they could do a personality test on me. I said yes. It was the Briggs-Myers one. I don't remember the exact 4 letters or what the result was, but I do remember what he said. I remember he was really excited about the result. He said, you have such a special profile and you really have to become an entrepreneur. You should not work for other people. You're not meant to work for other people. I remember saying, No, I'm a journalist. This is what I do. I'm very happy being a journalist. Now that I run a business, I run 3 actually, I can see that he was right. This is a completely different life. Why don't more people start businesses? That's because we think of it as risky. Like we do with investing, like a lot of people do with investing. They say, no, it's too risky to invest in the stock market. Same thing with running a business. It's too risky to be an entrepreneur. But it's not. With the first business I started, which was the blog and teaching investing, which is kind of what I'm also doing here, the entry barriers were very low. What does entry barrier mean? It's just some business jargon for saying it was very easy to get into it. All I had to do was create a blog and write a blog post. Create the website and write a blog post. So that took me basically a night. And it didn't cost more than a cup of coffee would cost in Denmark. A little bit more in Denmark than in Portugal. Anyway, so it's easy. And the first blog post I sent it out on social media. It got 50,000 eyes on it. And a few months later, I started posting that I would teach value investing, and I did. So it was so easy, actually. It's not that risky. Kind of depends on which business, of course. Point number 9, set huge goals. I've talked about this before. It's so important to choose goals that you really, really want. First of all, it's really important to set goals. A lot of people don't even set a goal. Set a goal, write it down, but make sure it's a huge goal, something with fire that can warm you. If you take a lukewarm goal, it's probably realistic. I can even feel my body going a little bit limp, talking about set a big goal. Number 10, always be kind. Oh, this is almost an annoying one, right? It's eat your vegetables, but it's true though. Be kind even to those who are not kind to you. Number 11, avoid stress. Oh. I don't know how I got into this, and I don't really understand it. So yes, I still believe you should avoid stress. Did I get stressed? I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. Number 12, prioritize your sleep. And this is a little bit like eat your vegetables. One thing I learned is if you have difficulties falling asleep, there's a system. You need 3 times 20 minutes, meaning an hour. So 20 minutes to make your body prepared for sleeping, brush your teeth, take a shower, whatever you need to do. Then you need 20 minutes to set up for the next day. And I'm teaching my kids this too. You have football tomorrow, put your football stuff, get it all ready. And then you need 20 minutes to get into the right zone, to learn, to teach your body, we're relaxing. It's time to breathe slowly. You can read something in bed, or you can the important thing here is that you breathe like you would breathe if you were already sleeping. And that made a huge impact on my sleep, that I breathe that way. Okay, so am I sleeping enough lately? No. Why not? Oh, I guess I've been in a little bit of an alert mode. What is going on in this world? I feel like the world is shifting. So I have been checking the news very late, and it's the first thing I do when I wake up, and that's not good. I'm going to stop that right away. Number 11, plan your day the night before. This is a little bit what I said before about the 20 minutes, get ready. But there's more in it than this. I write down what I have to do the next day. At least 3 points. So when you wake up the next day, you know exactly what's going to happen. I usually write down more than that. I usually write down 7 points. Number 14, journal every evening and morning. I'm not doing that anymore, but I should get into doing it again. One thing that I really believe in, and I've drifted a bit away from that, is repeating your goal every evening and visualizing your goal every evening and every morning to lift your energy. We'll get into that in a moment. Number 15, do what you love every day. Yeah, I do what I love. But there's a difference. What I love intellectually, I do love making a podcast. I do love reading about investments and reading the news. But when I say do what you love every day, it's a different kind of love. It's almost like something that excites your body more than your mind. I'm always in my mind. I'm always in my head. And I know exactly what it is that I have to do every day. I have to play some piano every day. It doesn't have to be for hours, just 10 minutes, get into the zone. And this is connected to the next point. number 16. Cherish this joy of small things. There's a word in Danish. It's called småtingslykke. I love it. It means small things happiness. You know, we have a lot of these words. You probably know hygge, right? But we have a lot of these really good words. Small things happiness, småtingslykke. It means you have to be able to be really happy about very small things. It could be a cup of tea. So I don't know what it could be for you, but for me it is actually a cup of tea. It could be walking my dog. I really love doing that. It could be anything, reading a book. It could be just sitting a particular place in your house where the sun comes through the window and just enjoying it for a moment. Next, be on time. And yeah, one day in Copenhagen many years ago, I realized that I was always rushing, and it made me unable to enjoy the journey to where I was going. Then I experimented, and I realized if I give myself just enough time to get there, you know, it feels better. But if I give myself even more time, so I have extra time to go slowly, I really enjoy the journey. So that's a little tip for you. Speak honestly and truthfully. This isn't about not lying, because not lying, I mean, that's the base level. This is far beyond that. It's about speaking the truth. An example could be you have a friend, you feel that something's off. Do you say it? Do you say you look tired? I mean, some people get offended. Do you say, I have a sense that something is worrying you. What is going on? That is speaking the truth. It could also be that something is not right, and you actually say it. And here we have to be a little bit careful, because criticizing people, you don't usually get very good results with that. So try to phrase it as a question instead. Do not interrupt others. That's point number 19. Yeah, I mean, I try to. I'm a very eager person, so I probably do it once in a while. But it's better to not interrupt people. It's kind of like eat your vegetables again, right? We know this. Next is set an intention in everything you do. Before you go into a meeting, ask yourself, what do I want to accomplish with this meeting? Or before you meet with a friend for coffee, even ask, what do I want to get out of it? Do I just want to have a really good time? Do I want to be a good friend that listens? Do I want to, I mean, what is your intention? There's an intention in everything. And even when we are unaware of the intention that we have, there's still an intention. So make it a good intention, and be sure that you said it, that you are aware what your intention is. Say yes. So this point is about, you know, there are things in life that's super important to us. We set that big goal, that big flame I talked about before. Be sure to say yes to everything related to that flame. And then comes the next point. Say no. Say no to everything that is not related. And we all do this. We all say yes to things like, yeah, I could help out with that. And oh, yeah, I could do this. I could run that little errand. You really have to be kind of tough with it. There's a really great saying, if it's not a hell yeah, it's a hell no. Point number 23, take a simple idea and live it 100%. This comes from Manish Pabrai, the famous value investor. He says that a lot of people read something in a book or hear something on a podcast and they think, that sounds about right, I'll do that, but they never do. You know, they get busy, they forget about it, and they just never do it. He says that he takes a few ideas and then he lives them 100%. One of these things is value investing. He's a very good value investor. He also says that he has promised himself to be honest about everything in life and live that 100%. So he is apparently brutally honest with people. And he says he has that from David Hawkins. And that is a nice leeway into the next point, number 24. Find the power and avoid force. What does that mean? David Hawkins wrote an excellent book called Power versus Force. And he says that in force, Force is where you're forcing yourself to do something. You have to use a lot of willpower to get it done. In power is a higher energy. It's a higher vibration, and it has a more positive energy. So you have to find the things where you have the power. Now, this sounds a bit woohoo. Like, I mean, what does it really mean? And how do you know if it has power or force? You have to use your intuition. You can feel it. In David Hawkins' book, there are a lot of exercises where basically if you can make an exercise with yourself and you can feel in your body if you go weak. You will physically go weak if something is not right. And how exactly to do that exercise is going to take too long to explain here. I can recommend the book Power versus Force. Number 25, drink more water. I was at a dinner with several people. One of them was a dietitian. One of the other people asked the dietitian, if you could only give one advice, what's the most important advice concerning health that you would give? She said, drink more water. Most people don't drink water. They drink wine, coffee, tea, Coke, sodas in general, and they just don't drink water and they don't think about it. Well, you have to drink a lot of water every day, not the other stuff, water. Number 26, start the day earlier. Ideally, I would get up before the kids and I would have everything prepared. And I have to admit, I have been sliding on this one. I'm getting up at the same time as them, so I will go to bed earlier, start the day earlier. Number 27, drink lemon water as the first thing. You know, when you wake up, your system is so, it's been detoxing during the night. So what do you want to put into your newly detoxed body? Is it going to be coffee? For most people, it's coffee. Lemon water is a much better idea. Now, I stopped doing that because my doctor said that it wasn't good for my stomach. He said it was acidic. And as far as I know, it's not acidic. So I'm just going to research and then get back into it. But it's a really good thing to do. Number 28, spend the morning and afternoon on focus work. For me, this is probably like this for most people, that you can be more focused during the first part of the day. And that's where you should put focus work. Now, some people are a little bit different. They work really well at night, and you know if that's you. So you can put it at night if you're one of those. But for most people, it's going to be when the brain is still fresh. For me, it's I have some stuff to do. I have kids. They need to go to school. So for me, it works that I do the focus work from 9 to 1. Focus work is really researching, investing, writing blog posts, stuff like that. And the next point is place smaller tasks like email and, running errands, place that in the afternoon. And to be quite honest, I kind of forgot this a little bit. So I've been checking my email as the first thing. And I guess it feeds into this sense of alert that I've been living for quite a while, 1.5 years or so. The sense that I have to check what's going on because something big might be coming my way. Okay. Number 30. Give your undivided attention to those you love every day. I got this from a parenting course, and the advice was to completely focus on the kid. No task, just like completely focus for 10 minutes a day. And when they're small, that would be something like sitting on the floor and looking at an ant or whatever, these really and when you're a busy person and then when you're an ambitious person, it's very difficult to do actually. Now, my kids are not the age where they look at, they still do look at ants and bugs and whatever. We can still do it. But with adults, it's more about really intently listening to what they're saying, feeling their energy, like really being present. Most of us, we forget it. And I think I've been forgetting it a bit lately. I'll get back into that one. Number 31, remember they can't stop you. This really is relevant for me right now. I have a coach who's actually the same coach that the famous value investor Guy Spear used and Manish Popra used to make this blueprint. I had the same blueprint made. It's kind of a document that will tell you how to live your life. It's really interesting. He told me, I'll get back to him a bit later. He's told me many things, but one of the things he told me was, they can't stop you. And this is because even before I experienced what I've been experiencing lately, I was really afraid of criticism. I was afraid of being condemned, or just criticism in general. And he told me, they cannot stop you. Now, this is a very particular situation because things have happened in my life. It has been quite a lot of people that have made these false negative reviews. And to be honest, I did have a launch where I didn't sell anything at all. And I only sell twice a year. So I lost 6 months of revenue. So technically, I would go back and say they did actually kind of stop me. But then again, they didn't. They just slowed me down. And living in a fear of criticism is not a great place to live. So now I got a lot of what I would say very illogical criticism that doesn't really make sense. And I survived. So I guess the worst thing happened and I'm still here. And it really doesn't stop me. I mean, I ramped up. I started a podcast, right? Number 32, believe in the force. We are back to Stephen Hawking's kind of thinking. And we're back to my coach. He said, there are 3 ways you can live. You can either believe that everything is against you and everything is a struggle and a conflict. Number 2, you can believe that nothing is against you. It's neutral, but you must fight to create everything. And this is where I've been living my life in number 2. But then there's number 3. You can believe that the world is with you. Another word for the world is the force. You can believe that the force is with you. And I really, really like that approach. Now, right now where I am in my life, I think maybe I've been going back to number 1. I'm not sure if I've ever been there, but maybe that's how it feels like. And how am I going to solve this? I'm not sure. I'll get back to you on that one day. I guess the first thing you have to do is be aware that there are these 3 ways of living and set an intention that you want to live with the idea that the force is with you. I like the word force better than the will, because when I say the world is with you, I'm thinking, but these people online weren't with me. Yeah, they're not. They don't matter. There are a lot of people online that, some of them don't agree with you. That doesn't matter. But the force is with you. I really like that. Let's rephrase it into that the force is with you. Number 33, know that love never disappears. This is a sweet one. It comes from Napoleon Hill. He says that in order to achieve the things that you want to achieve, you have to use energy that are vibrating at a very high level. And love is vibrating at a very high level. Actually, David Hawkins says more or less the same thing. Love is the highest level. And when you love somebody, a lot of us were very afraid of losing it. Oh, what if they die? Or hey, what if they leave me? And this is where it's so great that Napoleon Hill says, love will never disappear. Because love is energy. And energy never disappears. So it might be that something in the world changes, but the love that you felt will never go away. Isn't that great? And that made me very unafraid of losing. 34, get a pet. This is a little bit sad because I talk a lot about our cat that we had and how, it made everybody smile and laugh and it changed the energy in the house, and the cat died. It died this summer. Very sad. But now we have a dog, Hugo, and he can do the same thing. And the great thing about Hugo is that he forces me to take these walks in the morning. I don't think I would, I think I would be sitting a lot in my chair. I would probably go from checking Twitter from the bed and then exits call today and then going to work at my desk and not see the sunlight. But Hugo forces me to get out. That's a great thing. And just, the joy of having a pet. Number 35, get some help. Outsource the task that you don't have to do. At this point, when I wrote this, I had a cleaner, an au pair, and I had a daily cleaner. Now I only have a weekly cleaner and I don't have an au pair. So I've been minimizing. And I can see that maybe with, the hair falling off and all that, maybe I should get more help and I will hire more people to help me. The reason I downside also has to do with that I lost 6 months of revenue. Number 36, write handwritten thank you notes. This is an idea that comes from the famous value investor Guy Spier. He says that when you write thank you notes, and he writes them physically and sends them with, snail mail, with the post service, he says it compounds. It's a compounding force of goodwill. That's so interesting. The whole idea that, compounding and negative compounding and positive compounding is not just about money, it's about life. We can use these principles from investing in life. I haven't been doing the handwritten notes, I have to admit it. Will I do it? I think I might send emails, or maybe I'll try my hand with handwritten notes. Number 36, get advice from your gurus. Now, your gurus, the people you look up to, might be very famous and unavailable. They might even be dead. But you can still get advice from them. You can hold a meeting with them in your mind, in your fantasy. You can even have board meetings with them. You can ask Charlie Munger, who's Warren Buffett's partner. Unfortunately, he is deceased. You can ask him what he would do. And if you read enough about him, you know what he would answer. My dad actually said, my dad was 65 when I was born, so I grew up with this knowledge that he would die before I was very old. And I was afraid that he would die. When I started school, I entered this fear somehow. And I remember asking him, about death, and he said, but I will never die. I will live on within you. And that's a beautiful thing. It's both the love that's living on, and if you know somebody really well, and knowing somebody really well doesn't mean you have to know them physically. It also means that you read about them and you get into their mindset. Then you can ask them what they would do. You can ask for their advice. Number 38, create a wall of happy memories. I talk about how in our old house, we moved in May. In our old house, I had a wall with happy memories, pictures of all kinds of great things we've done, people we loved. And it was near the staircase. So when I walked up to the first floor, I would always think about something wonderful we had done. I don't have that wall anymore, first of all, because we moved. And secondly, because in Portugal, where I live, it's sometimes very wet. You get mold in the house. And these pictures kept getting mold on the back side of them. And it was very annoying to take out hundreds of pictures and washing them and this. So I don't have the wall. I think the point isn't, you don't have to have a wall like that. But the point is, create happy memories and somehow find a way to remind yourself of all these happy memories. 39, drink from a mug with a motto. I have some different mugs. I have one that says, I'm so grateful now that, and that's about Procter mug, because that's how you're supposed to say your goal. You say your goal, let's say your goal is to have 100 million invested in stocks. Then you say, I am so grateful now that I have 100 million invested in the stock market. You say it present tense and you connect the feelings to the goal. I have another mug that my son gave me that says, the best mom in the world ever. So that's kind of a mug with a good, happy memory attached to it. I think I will create a new mug, actually. I was thinking, when I reread the blog post, I was thinking that it seems to be this concept of the force and the third way of living. The force is with you. I think I'll create myself a mug with that. The force is with you. Remember, the force is with you. Number 40, say pyt. What? That's a Danish word. In Denmark, like I said before, we have a lot of really nice words like hygge, which means when something is very comfortable and nice. Pyt means never mind. It's like, we use this word a lot in Denmark. You can even buy this red button that you can push, and it says the pyt button. You physically push the pyt button in your family. I really like this idea of going, never mind, because a lot of us, we get so caught up in small matters, and we get upset about small matters. Something in traffic, it's something someone not important said about you, like this girl who said that I spoke Danglish on the podcast. I do have an accent, I know. I hope you understand me anyway. Pyt, move on. So maybe we should get a pyt-knap. Number 41, and that's good because this point is also related to something that's difficult. Let's say something difficult happened, but practice says to say, and that's good. And he actually doesn't say because, he just says, and that's good. But the mind starts looking for reason why it's good. If it's really, really a big thing and it's very difficult, I think it's important to feel the sadness too, to acknowledge your feelings, because life is life. We can have the pyt-knap, we can say, and that's good, but we can still feel the feelings and acknowledge what's going on and breathe through it. 43, give yourself a treat. Go for a massage, go for a nice dinner, go to that concert. I have to admit that I haven't been very good at this lately. It is really time to book that massage. And it doesn't have to be big things when you give yourself a treat. It can be small things. A massage is an excellent example. What's so important here is when you invest, a lot of people have a tendency to save a lot. Everything has to be invested, especially within the FIRE movement, the financial independence movement, which I kind of belong to, but I am a bit different than most people because I believe in outsourcing, getting cleaners, treating yourself, living a great life while you're investing. And that's only possible because I'm also an entrepreneur. The people who are becoming financially independent only from their salary, they are saving a lot. So if you can somehow find a way to earn more money on your journey, that would be best. So you can still treat yourself. Number 44, meditate every day. And I used to meditate with the Silva method. I also like Zen meditation. To be quite honest, I don't think I've meditated for a year. So that's definitely something I have to start doing again to avoid losing more hair. Number 45, ask your dreams for a solution. This is a method that comes from the Silva method. And you take a glass of water, then you drink, you roll your eyes up, you drink half of it, and you say, this is all I have to do to find the answer to the problem I'm thinking of. You think of your problem, and then you go to sleep. In the morning, you do the same thing. You drink the other half of the water, and you say the same phrase. Sometimes I find you have to say it a couple of times. You have to do it, if you haven't built that muscle, you have to do it maybe a few times to get an answer. Actually, I had a dream between discovering that I was losing some hair and going to the doctor. I had a very clear dream. The dream was that I went to a party with a lot of people in it. It was like this party represented my life. You could do different activities. And there was this wise man you could go and see, and he would tell you the truth. Oh, that was very kind of sexy. So I went to the wise man, and he just said one sentence. He said, you have to stop working so much. And I was like, no, but wait, I have a podcast. I'm going to do this. It's really fun. And he looked at me like, it's as if I was really slow. And he just said the same sentence one more time. You have to stop working so much. And and then he was like, next. I was like, oh, I woke up. I was like, I don't know. What does this mean? But now I do know what it means. So you can get really good answers if you learn how to use your dreams as a guide. 46. Take a moment every day to feel the love of everything. This comes from David Hawkins again. He says that, love is an energy. It's the highest vibration, and everything is love. Well, if that's true, we can look at almost anything and feel that vibration of love. And how do you do that? Well, first of all, you have to slow down. Have I been doing this lately? No, of course not. Of course not. I completely forgot about this. And the thing about it is also, if you are in a negative vibration yourself, you can't feel it. You have to get out of the negative vibration, at least get to a neutral space before you can feel it. Number 47, breathe. Like, breathing is so important. Have I been focused on my breathing lately? Have I been doing breathing exercises? No, I have forgotten about it. I'll get back into it. Number 48 is straighten up. Tony Robbins says that your body will influence how you feel. So just by straightening your body, you will automatically feel better. Well, that's great news because, we just have to straighten up. Everything will get better. The next point is related. Smile and laugh. I mean, if just having a straight posture will make you feel better, then imagine what smiling and laughing will do. Have I been smiling and laughing lately? I haven't been laughing a lot, to be quite honest. I can't remember the last time I laughed. But I have been thinking about smiling, and I have been smiling a lot because I notice how when I smile, the other person will smile too. And it doesn't have to be someone I'll just walk in the street and I'll be like, I'm going to smile at this person. I just smile and I smile and I smile, and it comes back and it makes you feel better. It's so simple, It really is. Number 50, we're almost there, is love yourself. When we think of love, we usually think of romantic love, but the first love that we have should really be the love and compassion for ourselves. And most people feel like, oh, that's selfish, right? But it's not. You have to really feel compassion and love for yourself. Look yourself in the mirror. You can even tell your reflection, I love you. You look great, right? So those were the 50 points. And now I just want to summarize. Am I doing these points? Some of them, yes. Some of them I drifted, to be quite honest. I just got so caught up in life and the news in the world. So much is going on. Oh, my God. And it might be a war. It might be the election in the States. It could also be that the stock market is not doing what you think it should be doing. But the stock market is a volatile place. It will go up, it will go down, then it will go up again, then it will go down again. This is just how it is. So we have to evaluate our lives. We have to be on this journey and still have a great life. We only have this life. This is really what it's about. Now I want to ask myself, is there anything here that, should I add a step? And I think I have pretty much everything covered here, but there's one thing I was thinking about. We talk a lot about vibrations, having high vibration. The vibration is love, is, the highest level, all these things. And then you have life. And life is such a mixed bag of candy or chocolate or whatever. It's everything. It's just so many experiences coming at you. So how do you stay? And that is my challenge. And I don't have the answer yet. How do you stay in this high vibration when life is challenging you? And when things happen in the world, all these things I just mentioned, and some of them happen at the same time sometimes. It's just the way it is. I don't have a clear answer, but I think it's important to make a list like I do and follow the steps. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, follow, and review it on your favorite platform. It really helps the podcast grow. If you have any questions, feel free to write me at X. My handle is my first name, Beile, spelled B-E-I-L-E.